So I've prepared the buffer base, because you see here there's the rectangular buffer base, and if you look at it here in profile, of course the front of the cab is rounded off, so we'll have to file this down just a bit in the internal part. So I'm showing you the part I've made. So measure this. The external thickness is 1.5 millimeters. Right. As you can see, I've indicated it here. So 1.5 millimeters is this thickness here. Then we have, of course, 3 millimeters height, 5 millimeters width. So to obtain 1.5 millimeters, I cemented together two 0.75 millimeter styrene profile clippings, and now we're going to let this here set. This has to set, and then we'll be able to file it down to have a proper straight. And then we'll fit it to the piece of aluminium right under this foot plate here, fitting it with glue and glaze to the aluminium repaired buffer bar. Okay. So there's all the dimensions. So I've trimmed down the buffer mounting plate, which is formed by two 0.75 millimeter trimmings of styrene, and I filed it down, you can see, at a more or less 45 degree angle, because this, the pencil marking identifies the outside part where I will fit the buffer, because this has to be fitted here more or less there. Of course we'll center it properly. Well, that's us more or less. See if we can. And then there. You see that the actual buffer will be buffer housing. The buffer housing will be here, made out of a piece of heat shrink tube. So that's all the preparation of this part finished. This is in this video. We'll have another video, single take, where we glue this stuff on. Cheerio, and see you next time. Right, I've glued the buffer mounting plate to the buffer bar. I've decided just to not to go actually make a separate video showing this, because it's nothing special. I mean, I just use some glue and glaze. You drop, apply it with the toothpick, and then fit the part. The glue is setting now, so we're getting, once that's set, we'll fit the actual buffer housing, which I will fabricate using a piece of heat shrink tube cut at the same length as the other one over there. and after I'll paint everything a shade of blue, the same shade of blue, to be able to camouflage it. But okay, see you in the next clip. I've built a new buffer housing using, here it is, using a piece of heat shrink tube. There we go, this yellow one. I've glued it onto the buffer base, which I made out of styrene, using glue and glaze. And now I'm waiting for the glue to set. Then we actually have buffers for this locomotive. It was missing all the buffers. These are actually Jouef buffers, the right ones, for the BB67000, which I took from somebody had fitted them to a Jouef luggage van with old Jouef couplings. Actually a very good job, only that only one of them came off with the stem. You can see one is all in one piece, this one here, and I'm going to have to rebuild the stems, but that's for another part of this video. And so we're just waiting for this to, I've had to sort of limit my nighttime modelling activities because I have an annoying sciatic nerve, so sitting too long is, let's see, I try to limit the sitting hours to when I have to actually work. But anyway, it's a bit fresher tonight, so it's a bit better. In the meantime, I've been listening and watching a very interesting song by Depeche Mode, Peace, with the very, very good, very beautiful Romanian actress Maria Dinulescu. It's a very nice song. I definitely advise it as it's very relaxing, and there's also some interesting train scenes and even in a Roman 111 coach. A very good song. It brings you peace of mind, which is a very important thing in all of our lives. Okay, we'll carry on in the next clip. So that's the reconstructed buffer housing on the repaired buffer bar, and what we're going to have to do now, we're going to have to paint this, but we'll see that in the next videos. So if you enjoyed this rather long collection of clips, this video, you can give it a like, and of course subscribe to the channel, click notification bell, notification bell, and what else, and share the video, and of course I always enjoy reading your comments. Cheerio, and see you next time. So we're making progress. Notification bell, bing. Cheerio.